Hello everyone and welcome back to Bandai Product and Figure Review, your one stop for everything models and figures. And in today's episode we are going to be changing it up a little bit by incorporating an unboxing and build review. So we're going to be starting off with the Heavyarms Gundam from Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. So this is going to be the first of many videos that we are going to be looking at what it's going to take to actually build the model and actually seeing what the end results are going to be. And I'm going to try to see if I can get these to be more of the standard, just because my backlog is just constantly growing. So let's roll opening and start to take a look at what it's going to take to build this and see what it looks like at the very end. Let's start off with admiring the art that Bandai did for the Heavyarms Gundam Endless Waltz edition, and this is looking really nice. And as we can see, this is a reissue from 2012, as we have the blue logo. So this has recently been reissued. Looking at the side of the box, we can actually, unfortunately, again, I can't read Japanese, so if you might be able to pause that and be able to read that. But this is basically showing us the TV version and the Endless Waltz version for different type of paint schemes, since I think this is roughly the same unit. So moving on to the other side, and this is where we're going to have more useful information, and this is basically the front and back version of the kit fully put together. Its weapons. It does come with a pilot, two pilots actually, one standing and one inside the cockpit. So that's going to be kind of fun, and it doesn't look like it's going to take too much to actually paint him. So I may end up actually doing that. And we have various nice little details and various weapon gimmicks. So let's actually open this up and take a look at the parts that are going to be needed. Just starting off in general, we have quite a few white pieces, and this is actually where it's going to be really nice. If you can see where a lot of the rocket pods are actually separate pieces, so that's going to be really nice for painting or even just basic detail work, that is actually separated instead of being a solid piece where you had to go and individually paint. So I kind of like that. So that's a really nice treat. Next we have some of our stickers, which are going to be more of the translucent rub-on ones. We have various parts. We have its head, various armor. Then we have some really cool concepts here. We have a nice rubber piece here, and this is going to be for its chain gun. And we have the various pieces for its chain gun. And then we do have a giant knife that will come from its gauntlet. And we have various other armor pieces, which are in a more of a creamy whites actually. So it's still going to be really nice to do all of the detailing with that. Next we have parts for the gun, and this is going to be very interesting for the rotary cannon. And we also have some nice red parts for its shield and various armor for its feet and shoulders. And it's looking really nice. And this is the part that I really like, is where I can easily just come in with a nice little gray and paint those little rocket pods in here. So as we are building this, I'll probably end up just already painting those and just get to them when I need to get to them. And we have various gray parts that will most likely be for like the inner frame aspects. and the same, more inner frame armor pieces, and a lot of the and this is the part that I really like of all the separation for the cannons and stuff. So this is going to be a lot more easy to do a lot of the cool effects and having this be open. So I'm really impressed with that. So now let's actually move on to the instruction manual real quick. So this is the instruction manual. So far it's looking like it's going to be fairly simple for all of the construction. We have various runners, and this is where these are going to be coming in handy to sort those all out. And because we have various different types of pieces that we are going to need, so yeah, this is going to look really nice. And then yeah, again, a lot of this is going to be standard to the par. And then we have our chest units, head, arms, and yeah, and this is where I also love the full cover art page, and this shows all of the units all together. I just ordered Sandrock, so definitely look forward to that when that model comes in, since I want to do this as a series, because I am actually hosting a model competition, and this year's theme is Gundam Wing. So I am basically wanting to try to get all of these done before October, so you may see a lot of these videos in the upcoming weeks, if possible, or at least close or after the convention. But overall, it's looking really nice with all of its weapons, and yeah, this is already looking really solid and nice. And a lot of this is just going to be like a nice dark iron for a lot of the weapons on here. So I already have a lot that I want to do. And yeah, we do have his pilot suit and everything, so this is going to be really nice. So let's actually take a look and see what this actually looks completed. And there we have our completed Heavyarms Gundam. And I did already do a bit of painting for various areas, as well as some detail work, especially with the little hatches here. I did paint all of those, or gave the highlights. I did paint all of the gun and the blade that it actually has. And this thing is actually really cool. So let's actually take a look at all of the cool poses that we can actually do with this. Now that we have our Heavyarms Gundam at our display booth, we can really take a look at how well this model kit was. And this is in its somewhat standby form, while it still has that menacing gattling gun, which actually was not too bad for the part separation. It did a really good job allowing me to paint the barrels fairly well with a metallic color, along with the dark iron that I had done for most of the metal pieces that were found on this Gundam. And we also have that cool serrated blade that is going to be coming around. So this is all in the closed version. So let's actually take a look to see what this thing looks fully ready to start blasting away. And there is, with all of the hatches open, showcasing all of the rockets and missiles that are on this kit. And this is where I would say where the challenge would be, was a lot of the parts on here. Just I had to modify quite a few things just for that chest unit, because I felt like I was going to snap a lot of the tabs that were clipping in, as well as trying to make sure I was going in the right direction for some of the rocket launchers. But the overall part separation is the part that I really did enjoy very much, especially with the fact that all those rockets that we see on here were all separate pieces, like on a little platform that they all sandwiched together. allowing really good part separation, allowing very good amount of detail, which I was able to pre-paint a lot of those rockets, allowing us to really see how well they actually are. So the part separation on this kit was phenomenal. I did like a lot of the detail that it came with, especially since this is a 2011 model kit. So this still does hold up really well. And do I recommend getting this particular kit? I most definitely say yes. I definitely would say this would be a good kit. I would say it's a little bit more on the advanced side, just because you might have to do some modifications, and some of the parts do tend to stick and may or may not snap. So that's the only downside, but I only had a couple of those issues when I was having to fix the fact that I had flipped a piece or two. So that's where always read the instructions to your best of your abilities to make sure you are putting the pieces correctly into place. And I've been doing plastic modelies for a long time, and even I still make mistakes every once in a while. That is basically human error. But overall, it did turn out really well. As you can see, it looks phenomenal. It's going to be great on the shelf. The only thing I did not do was I did not add any of the stickers on this particular one, because I'm going more show accurate, where they don't actually show any of those markings and warning labels and stuff like that. So I just decided to go for a really cool personal paint job. As we can see, that most of all of the weapons were supposed to be just a standard gray, where I decided to paint a lot of the, especially the chain gun, with a dark iron color and a gunmetal for the barrels, as we can see it right here. And I did do a lot of panel lining just to highlight a lot of those unique and nice lines. So I definitely am happy with how well this actually turned out. Alright everyone, that's going to conclude this unboxing and build review of the Heavyarms Gundam from Gundam Wing. And like I was just saying, this is a really phenomenal kit. I do love how all of the really cool rockets and everything like that, where it all opens up. So this is just brimming with firepower. So the only thing that would have been really cool is if the rotary cannons could actually spin or something like that. So there are probably people that already have came up with, hey, I have an idea on how to do that. But overall, this is looking like a really nice kit. I really did have a lot of fun building this, and it didn't take me very long to actually do everything. For me, it took about maybe 2 days to actually to finish building this, at least, you know, about 24-48 hours of build time. So overall, it did a really nice job. Part separation was really good, and overall it was a really phenomenal kit. And if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. You guys are what's making this channel grow. We're almost at 400 subscribers, so please like and subscribe. And if you have any future ideas or projects that you want to be featured, please leave those down in the comment section down below. I always read those comments and try to reply in a timely fashion. So with that, I hope to see you guys in the next episode. So until then, stay building.